Dude,
I thought I was gonna be on fucking what was that show like where you sing or you don't get on, you know what's it called?
American Idol.
No, the one where you name that tune. Like, because literally guys have gotten dong in the first second. Dong.
Oh shit.
Name that extreme.
Which episode? We don't know.
Who was the first guy? Dong. Oh my god. Nothing's going right today, pal. Nothing's going right.
Yeah, I agree. I just told Aaron I'm whooped. We had our inventory last week, so they didn't send us any trucks of merchandise. So this week, the past 3 days, it's been like, that's just all I've been doing.
Dude, all over my fucking cable.
Well, yeah, I had that.
Come on, Chad.
Shut the fuck up, man. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Who the fuck are you talking to?
I'm talking to fucking you. I'm sorry, I didn't know. My beer was already shook up before I grabbed one. I grabbed one and I did it in front of the whatever the thing the Cornet promotes for the camera with the photos. You know?
Oh, the frame thing. I don't even remember what it's called. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, I mean everything in our house is Cornet related.
Did you have a healthy breakfast?
I got AG1. AG1. I got all that shit.
The bloody variant.
I mean, I'm sure as the show will go on, we'll find more. Because Cornet, I mean, 90% of Cornet's show is promoting something else. AG1. AG. Huck Poo.
Well, let me see here. Let me get these questions pulled up. Maybe we can start with those. Get a little bit of mileage out of those. I got 3 of them.
Wow, Archie Mitchell's fucking busy. We got rid of Archie right there off the top of the hour. Dude, I think I got sunburned today.
You were outside for 12 fucking minutes.
Well, I got sunburned today. I was outside for 12 fucking minutes, Miss Jessica says. That's enough to get sunburned, right?
12 fucking minutes, yes. Not 12 minutes, but 12 fucking minutes is.
What's going on here?
Thank you.
What the fuck is... Where's the bowl and the hood?
I don't have a bowl. Shut up.
Bad Butchie just opened up the door and threw a goddamn tote in the house.
You're a liar.
I don't know. I'm looking for the lighter. I don't know what's going on. Like I was literally asleep and Jess just kind of nudged me before the show. Was like, "You got to do a show, man." And I'm just like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah." All of a sudden, now the fucking circus has come to town. I don't know what the fuck. Bad Bucci, who's their ex, is like shoving stuff in like he's moving back in. I thought he was the ex. Or am I the ex?
You're like Jake Roberts. You're like Jake Roberts in 1996. They gotta nudge him and be like, "You got a show to do." Huh? What?
That's kind of what I feel like right now.
All right, we'll get this.
I was just laying there on the sofa. I was laying on the sofa, And Jess is nudging me like, you got to do a show. Yeah, I mean, I said I can do a show like in my sleep. You know what I mean? I can do this. I can do this in my sleep. But all of a sudden, we got some guy who's just opened the door up, shoving totes in the door. Like, what the fuck is all this about? And I go, it's your ex. I don't have no idea where the bowl went. I think I made a mess right here. I don't fucking know what's going on. Well, all I know is I was reliving the extreme, and I can't wait to go to bed.
Well, let me get us started. That way you can do that. Because I'm actually ready to go to bed too. So let's get this party started.
Let's get
this
the party
week
started?
Yeah, let's get the party started.
Well, somebody better call Archie Mitchell.
On Reliving the Extreme, we are reliving the episodes of ECW from August 16th and 23rd, 1994, because there is not a lot to cover. Literally, I know we say that a lot jokingly, folks, but literally, these two episodes of ECW are highlights from the show we reviewed last time, Hardcore Heaven, and interspersed with promos, so it will not take us any time at all to cover these things.
So we're basically going to do 2 shows in an hour.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah,
And
I mean, we have to, because it's just like, when isn't it a recap show?
Well, I'm hoping, because obviously the next episode that we're going to have of the show to watch is when this promotion ceases being NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling and becomes Extreme Championship Wrestling. So I'm hoping that change is coming here, that we're going to start seeing less of less of just a regional weekly program and more of a company trying to build a national brand.
Well, that was Paul's, and what's his name? The guy from NWA.
Howard Brody and Dennis Coraluzza?
No, the main guy.
Oh.
The Jim, what's his name? The Memorial Cup guy.
Oh, Jim Crockett. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, he was the one that was going to, what? Move the office to not New York, Texas, right?
Yes. Yep.
He that was his bright idea to go buy an office in Texas.
Yeah, because at this point, for those of you that don't know, and I think it was about September of '93, WCW had essentially just dumped the NWA. They were done with it. They had gotten the mileage out of it. They wanted to I guess continue their promotion and continue their legacy, and then it was just kind of in limbo for about a year. And like Chad said,
I disagree. I think it was a little bit longer than that, because I think the whole entire deal with Jim Crockett was about a year long.
Okay.
And the talent didn't have any, what I mean? Like, not me, but, the regular talent didn't have any idea what was going on. But I think that there was something going on, and there was something in the works, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And setting up this tournament for anything I've ever read, initially, they were going to do it like a multiple, what do you want to say, a multiple promotion tournament somewhere.
I'm sure it was.
Gordon convinced Coraluzzo and Brody and Crockett, mainly Coraluzzo and Brody, I think, well, let me just do it in ECW. And even before that, him and Paulie had the plan.
No chance Coraluzzo agreed to that. No chance. It may have been Brody.
You think he'd have seen it coming?
Coraluzzo?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah. Dude, Carluzzo was not a fan day one.
Mm-hmm.
Day one. He was like, I don't like any of this. Fuck all this. And I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Dennis, but he may or not had connections to people.
People as a people.
Yeah, I'm not going to
People-
go any
what do
more into
people-
detail about what Carluzzo had.
People always say he's like the Tony Soprano of pro wrestling.
He knew people.
He knew people in the sanitation business. Let's just put it that way.
Yep, garbage is his business. And business is good.
He walked into ECW. He's like, I know something about sanitation, and this is garbage. No, it's-
Now that's the reason why he never walked in ECW. Because he would have walked in and there wouldn't have been nobody there except me and fucking Tony Marmaluke. I don't know, whatever his name is.
So before we get into these shows, I have actually in the couple of weeks since we did a show, we actually got a few questions from you, the listeners, which anytime you can send to relivingtheextreme@gmail.com.
What, we got questions?
We got questions, and none of them are from Archie Mitchell.
Well, I implore both of our listeners to send the questions. Because
Just
we
keep
love
them coming.
we love answering the questions here on the whatever the name of the show is.
The first question is for Chad, actually, specifically. It's from a listener named Corey White. Corey says, Chad, who is the biggest asshole you have ever dealt with in the wrestling business?
Biggest asshole.
you can't say Archie Mitchell.
Archie Mitchell's never been in the wrestling business.
Yeah, but he sent me a Facebook pic that, oof.
He's in a different kind of business.
Yeah, I mean, if you yeah, biggest asshole, probably, Jesus, probably Tony Atlas,
Really?
because I wasn't a big fan of feet. He was trying to get with my girl, and he was trying to lick her feet, or I don't know what he was trying to do with her feet. But I was like, dude, clearly I can't beat you up, but I gotta punch you in the face.
God damn you, Mr. USA.
Yeah, I don't give a shit how much money you drew with Kevin Sullivan in 1980, but you tell my girlfriend that you want to get rid of me and you want to lick her feet. Like, I have to punch you. Like, I don't give a shit what the consequences are, but as a man, right?
It's implied.
Aaron,
Yes, it's implied. It's in the contract.
Yeah. I gotta stand up for myself. I can't stand there and not defend myself. So I had to punch Tony Atlas and go like, fuck you. I don't know. Whatever. Is what it is.
Well, Tony Atlas is an asshole. There's the name of this episode. So
Dude,
far,
Tony Atlas is not an asshole. like literally, Tony Atlas is a really, really great guy. Honestly, he's a really great guy.
He's just a deviant. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I don't give a shit what he wants to do when he's not working. Like,
we're not here to kink shame.
It's not my fault I couldn't find my left flip flop. I'm walking around the locker room going, I can't find my flip flop. And all of a sudden Tony Ellis is handing it to me. Like he's handing it to me. After he sniffed it.
It's like, why is my flip flop moist, Tony? Why is it moist?
Yeah. I mean, how bad could my flip flop smell that I just drove 80 miles or whatever? I mean, like, it's not like I've been wearing it for a week. I've been wearing it for like an hour and a half. and all of a sudden I catch you over there. I saw you. Don't think I didn't catch you. You're over there. You're sniffing. You're wondering. You know. I come back from my match. He's going to ask me who I worked. Oh, who did you work? All of a sudden, he's going to be sniffing his match. And then it's a whole goddamn fucking circle. Like, yeah, that fucking guy. Are we doing a show about Tony Ellis?
Well, I was going to say, with you having clarified that Tony Atlas is a good guy, is there anybody that was just I mean, I don't know if you want to bury anybody or not, but is there anybody that you dealt with that you're just like, God, what a colossal asshole?
No. I don't have that. I mean, no. I mean, I actually wish that I did. But I think the guys that I were involved in the wrestling business with, they were all trained the way they were supposed to be trained, and they were respectful, and they did what they were supposed to do. And yeah, I mean, no, I don't. I mean, it would take a while for me to come up with somebody to say this guy, somebody I didn't like. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say probably you had people that did asshole things in the moment or whatever. Like when you talked about the match with Jimmy Snuka, you know, asshole moments, but maybe not an asshole in general. I assume.
Oh, I could make up names like Jimmy Star. Matter of fact, I don't even remember his name, and he's not even gonna get it. Fucking. I used to use his name every show that I used to do a podcast on because I thought he was a jobber. And
Mark Starr?
No, I can't remember his name.
Okay. The next question that we have here is from James, and James asks, what wrestlers were never in ECW that you would have liked to seen in that promotion?
Is that for me or for you, Aaron?
I think that's for kind of in general, so whoever wants to answer.
Well, that's a good question, I guess.
I'll let Aaron go first because I already have my answer. Come on, Aaron.
I'm thinking.
What do you mean you think? It's a podcast. You can't just sit there. Like,
Meng, Haku. I think Haku would have been fantastic in ECW.
As a faction?
No, I think he would have been fantastic if Haku would have been in ECW.
Wasn't the question a faction?
No. Just what wrestler or wrestlers were never in the promotion that you would have liked to seen appear in ECW?
Oh, okay. Haku. Oh my God. Oh my Jesus.
Could you imagine Haku? And they just say, "Go out there and do whatever you want, buddy."
Haku and Spike. Like, I mean, wouldn't that be the obvious booking? Haku and Spike. I mean,
or Haku and Mikey.
Well, either way, and then you end up with, come on, I'll give you guys creative control. At the end of the day, who would you book them with? Come on, one of you guys.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Aaron.
No, go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
I was going to say, I mean, somebody that he's going to go toe-to-toe with, not just squash, maybe Taz or Sabu.
I was going to say Sabu.
It's Taz. You have fucking Haku just demolish everybody, and then eventually, what does ECW do? Are they still doing the fucking lights out shit?
Oh yeah, they do that up until the end, I think.
I mean, all right,
whether on purpose or not.
Like the end of the show was lights out, and they were like, "It ain't coming back on."
like the last show.
I just see the only lights I see are Paulie's tail lights.
You got I can't even make this segment serious at this point. But the lights go out, dude. Haku against Taz to me would be like just the fact them two fucking knuckleheads standing against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like the crowd. I mean, would the crowd go banana?
Oh yeah, no shit.
Because everybody thought Taz was a badass.
That's what I was gonna say. As much as the ECW crowd loves Taz, and then as much as everybody loves Haku and knows he's a badass.
Yeah. Like Taz will fucking beat the shit out of that little midget. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's kind of like that's kind of a dream match I would love to see in ECW. And I don't know.
Thinking of him fighting Sabu, I was just thinking of like, Sabu's like insane. He does all this crazy shit and everything. I'm just thinking about like the first time Sabu would try to like leap at Haku and he just swats him out of the fucking air. And Sabu's like, dear Lord. Like the only time Sabu would ever just have like a frightened look on his face.
I see that on ECW all the time where I watch a guy like, I don't know what his name is, fucking Ford El Fuego. Like, I'm getting one of them, I think I want to buy a Ford El Fuego. and he does that little flip thing. I'm like, dude, I'll just kick him in his face. Just kick him in his face. This guy is doing a leap off of this rope. He's going off of this rope. He's going off of this rope. I'll kick him in his face. I mean, how long do you expect me to sit here? You know, I mean, I haven't. No, I take it back. I've been in this business 30 years. I am not going to sit around for a guy who's going to jump from rope to rope to rope to rope to rope to rope in order to do a move to me. Like, I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, I was going to say, at that point, who looks like the idiot?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a guy that I'll do whatever you want. I'll do anything you want, any spot you want to do. I don't give a shit how ridiculous it is or whatever. But when it takes that long, then, I mean, help me out, buddy. Once it takes like 5 or 6 minutes for you to get in the spot,
Mm-hmm. Did you have anybody else in mind, Chad, that you think would have it would have been fun to see in ECW other than Haku that never was there?
Oh man, who would I love to have seen to be in ECW?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I would have loved to have seen no, Archie Mitchell.
Because what came to my mind,
a mass transit situation if Archie shows up.
What came to my mind when I saw when I saw the question, the person that came to my mind was what would have been had Kurt Angle not been there on Crucifixion night and said "fuck this noise" and and decided that he was going to be with ECW. What could have been with Kurt Angle, a young Kurt Angle?
I don't believe any of that. I don't believe that. I think that was just Kurt Angle being fucking Kurt Angle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think that it was bullshit. Who gives a fuck? What do you give a shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what do they do? They crucified the Sandman?
Yeah, Sandman.
So, shut up.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're fucking going home. big fucking deal.
My favorite thing out of that whole thing is Raven when they told him, well, it's like you didn't crucify him, you didn't strap him to the Star of David. He's like, well, fuck no, he would have rolled away. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I didn't strap to the Star of David. He gonna roll over.
It's fucking funny.
Away, 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 oh. Jungle
Shit.
Boys music.
Call it the dreidel angle.
Fuck. I mean, seriously, stop it. Enough.
well, since Chad didn't have one, the other guy would have, and we don't have to talk too much on it. I think it would have been cool to see Vader there at least once or twice.
Vader in ECW?
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Like one more like last like little 2 or 3 match run where he could be a badass after he was done in WWE.
With Shane?
Yeah, just I would have think it would have been cool.
I can see that.
What about you
Like,
put
you
you
have
get
him, like,
the
bring him
EC? What about the ECW arena and you have Bam Bam versus Vader?
That's what I was just gonna say. Vader and Bam Bam 1-on-1.
No, see, I would have Bam Bam and Vader just every single match ended in no DQ. Like, there's just no way to know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, every match, no DQ. No DQ. And it's next month. No DQ. These two guys can't figure out who's the badass. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Then
you can stretch that out for 6 months.
Well, I mean, you got to figure out Terry's leaving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's your out. The last show you booked Terry to do the fucking somewhat job.
Mm-hmm.
Not have him get. I mean, I wouldn't have him pinned. I would even consider a count out as a win. Just, you know what I mean?
Right.
If he was knocked out of the ring, and boom, and it was a 1, 2, 3 or a count out or whatever it was, I would consider that as a win. But yeah, I would never. There's no chance. And like I'm fucking 49 years old, and I can never conceive myself to figure how is Terry Gordy going to take a pin? How do you pin Terry Gordy? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't pin Terry Gordy.
The last question, and then we'll quickly go through the actual episodes of ECW that we are going to discuss. This one is from a gentleman named Rudy. Hey guys, I've also been watching a lot of ECW lately. I'm finding I don't feel that it ages well as compared to some other wrestling from the time. What are your opinions on this? Do you agree that ECW doesn't really age well?
I agree. I agree. I think it don't look good because it doesn't have the television standards that Paul picks up in the following weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it had because it's basically just standard definition.
Right.
It's not high def. So it's just basically standard definition. Yeah, I agree. I didn't like it back in the Valley Forge days.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked shitty.
See, I'm of two minds on the ECW thing. Like people that say that the promotion doesn't age well at all, and I always think to myself, I think with match quality, in some instances, i.e., say you get into the age of RVD and Jerry Lynn or some of the other stuff you see, I think ECW as a promotion ages well than anything the WWF did in like late 98, 99. You know, it's I know that gets that obviously WWF or WWE's priority is to make us remember the Attitude Era as this glorious thing, but in actuality,
but we're not in the Rob Van Dam age yet.
Well, no, but the gist that I got, I guess, from Rudy's email is it sounds like he's asking about the whole promotion as a whole, like from beginning to end.
We're still in the Rudy Diamond age, Frankie Williams age here.
From Columbus, Ohio.
What? Columbus, Ohio? He's not afraid of nobody. He's not afraid of nobody. I got no move for nobody.
But yeah, we're
still in that age with ECW because I don't think Paul has Paul changed companies yet, like production companies. I don't know. I'm asking.
I think that's upcoming because I think that comes soon after the rebranding. I'm pretty sure.
After the what?
After the rebranding from NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling to Extreme Championship Wrestling, I think. It's not too far after that.
Well, being a talent there, I thought that it happened like a couple of weeks beforehand.
Okay.
But to me, it probably wouldn't have shown on television.
Because we're going to get... It's not too long now before we get Pulp Fiction, right?
Well, I don't know.
And the static in between the segments, the little in between the segments deal, and all that.
I wish I would have done that. I never did any of them.
No Pulp Fictions for you?
No, I wish I would have. Just because I could have said something stupid like, oh, "Where's my cheeseburger?"
Do the George the Animal steal? How now, brown cow?
Yeah, I mean anything. But no, they didn't start that until after I was gone. So, yeah, I don't know. But how great is it? What's it? Aaron, what's it? 90 seconds?
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction started, but probably I think that's 96.
No, I'm saying 90 seconds.
Oh,
as far as like the end of the show, it's a send off.
Yeah, it's the bookend of the show, so it's probably 90 seconds. Yeah.
Well, you got 37 minutes to write your fucking stupid show, and then you get 3 matches, you get 4 promos. I mean, I know how to write TV, so I know how much time it is. So you only get like 16, 17 seconds, depending on how much time they got booked on the log for the program.
And in all honesty, that Pulp Fiction thing was a fucking fantastic idea. It's fucking great. Like they took 90 seconds or however long to tell you basically everything that's going on in the fucking show.
Dude, they could do probably. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking. And I bet you, me, you, Aaron, Nate could book this. We could book an hour of doing the same show for an hour of the same thing with the same song, and it would be just as interesting as it was on ECW. I'm telling you. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, you get guys like stupid ass fucking Nick Cage. I'll get Miss Jessica. I mean, people that can cut promos.
That's all you need.
Yeah. I mean, for 90 minutes, you don't even have to show a match. All you got to do is show a bunch of guys going, I'm going to fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like JR said. It's all about putting an ass every 18 inches. If you can get if they bought the ticket, they bought the ticket.
It's the sizzle.
Yeah.
They got the sizzle on the stage.
And that's why honestly, the most financially successful periods in pro wrestling didn't have good pro wrestling because your
I don't
fan that
know.
your fan that you're appealing to. I mean, the most money the WWF ever made was during the Hogan era, where the in ring didn't matter. During the Attitude Era, where the in ring was virtually non-existent except for main event pay-per-view main events. That's when they make money. We as the kind of wrestling fans we are looking for good wrestling, but mom and dad are just looking to take their kid to see the wrestlers. So if the wrestlers can promo them into the building, it doesn't matter what happens in the ring, you know?
What about Watts?
Yeah.
I mean, are you discrediting Watts?
No, but I guess what I'm saying is like the most money made in smaller
you're talking
periods
about
of time.
just overall growth.
Yeah, most money made in smaller periods of time. It's always when the worst wrestling is going on in the ring.
All right. I'll accept that. Yeah, I guess I agree with that.
And like I said, for a guy like you or me or Aaron, we're like, well, what the fuck?
I'm like Bill Watts made like $1 billion in the door. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like door oil business kind of thing. But we all saw how that went. Coco Beware just kept drop kicking Gustavo Mendoza.
Do you think one of Bill Watts' biggest mistakes was constantly trying to replace Junkyard Dog instead of coming up with something new?
I think Bill Watts' biggest mistake was not coming place with reality.
Mm.
Like it wasn't a black thing to Bill Watts. No. I don't think that. I just think that he didn't have a touch on what the fucking society was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. Why would you want to book it?
Nope.
I mean, all of a sudden, Bill Watts wakes up in the morning and calls Ernie Ladd. Hey, I'm done. You want to book it? I don't know.
Mr. Television Announcer, I don't know.
I'm not sure I want to book this television coming in.
The big cat says, fuck that.
No, I mean, seriously, it was in trouble. And it didn't have any structure. Like, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we're not here to lie about it, right?
Right. No, I mean, it was like for that, I think at that period of time, it was his, it's the old expression, and it might not, I don't know if it fits the situation or not, but his eyes were bigger than his stomach.
I don't have any idea what that means.
You know, you think.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
If you slap me in front of these people, I'm gonna look like one of the Islanders. No, she didn't slap me. She just shoved me. No, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is.
So
Bear
I guess
I
guess we'll spend our last 20 minutes here really fast going through these two shows. Thank you to listeners, by the way, for the questions. We appreciate it. And thank you for listening.
Is there a Bear Miguel Cicluna question? There's
no Bear Miguel Cicluna question. Archie Mitchell, fucking get on it, though. Seriously.
What the fuck's wrong, dude?
The 8/16/94 show, we start off with a promo from Mick Foley talking about Hardcore Heaven, or his promo from Hardcore Heaven, I'm sorry, where he talked about having a technical match, et cetera, et cetera. And then Joey just gives us Hardcore Heaven highlights. Like I said, folks, these shows aren't anything to write home about. We get a Public Enemy promo that, of course, I didn't pay attention to because they lose me a lot of the time. Now, the Terry Funk and Cactus Jack promo that we get next. I love Terry and Jack just sitting next to each other. You know, essentially shooting the shit.
Yeah, but why is Terry Funk talking about his cousin Thornton from Indiana getting his legs blown off in Vietnam?
It's fantastic, Aaron.
Why
It's
is he talking about
fantastic.
it?
Because he's Terry Funk. It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
What are you talking about? His cousin.
His cousin Thornton Funk got his legs blown off
I love it.
in Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Come on, dude. There's like 35 funks in this business. And all of a sudden, now there's a guy who had his foot shot off.
like fucking Cotton Hill. He's got no shins.
Yeah. I mean, how many funks are there? Go funk yourself.
You won't kill a Nazi?
Thornton Funk ain't got no legs.
Dory fucking got your legs?
Not Dory.
Did somebody tell Marty? Because Marty don't know. Tomorrow it's got to be at a signing at a fucking diner with what the fuck's his name? The guy that wrestles in fucking Florida. You got to go to a breakfast with him. And Marty and Dory Newlands. Hey, like Dory, Marty's gonna say, "Hey, Dory, don't forget your legs."
Keep swimming, Dory.
Yeah, I don't have any legs.
Oh, there is a. Let me see. I am really just breezing through this, but they were
Well,
talking
we're
about
going to hell, guys. You know that.
That's it. I had my ticket. I had my ticket punched a long time ago. I came to peace with it. They're talking about the NWA Championship Tournament, of course, that we referenced earlier in the show, coming up August 27th. We all know what's going to happen with that, which we will get into next week.
The names they hyped were Shane Douglas, Chris Benoit, 911, D. Malenko. Yes, 911, D. Malenko, Taz, and Too Cold Scorpio. That's who they've talked about so far.
And we do have the brackets coming up later, I think. I think
Yes.
I have those written down. There is actually a Jason interview here because Jason, of course, at Hardcore Heaven, they show the highlights of him winning the TV title from Mikey, which we talked about was a fucked up finish. And Chad, you make an appearance here.
That's right.
To come in and put dump the champagne or whatever it was over the head of Jason as he celebrates his TV title win.
I have no idea I even worked there. I mean, I don't remember any of this whatsoever because I have no idea I even worked there. Yeah, I mean, I saw it and I was like, yeah, look at me.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Dumping champagne on this fucking idiot.
That's right. Yeah, I was like, dude, like, when am I leaving? You know, like, I thought I quit like months ago. But apparently I'm still, I don't know. I don't fucking know, Aaron. Your show.
Jason also implies that Joey Styles wants to get it on with him.
Yes, he does. That was kind of weird. It was a weird thing.
Well, Joey Styles, it's weird because Paul was always in Joey's ear. And he would always tell you when it was time for somebody to go or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I knew it was time for me to go.
The next thing here is
Whatever that sound was time for me to go.
There's a promo, that's what we call it, that Paul E cuts on the NWA tournament talking about essentially there aren't any real men out there to be the NWA champion anymore. And then they end the show with a promo from Shane Douglas where he references Hulk Hogan, he references Ric Flair, he references Dusty Rhodes, and he really turns up the whatever you want to say on Flair in this promo. Like, he's really attacking Flair hardcore here. And that's the end of the show. I mean, do you guys have any comments on any of that?
Well, this is, I think, the first time he called him Dick Flair.
Yeah.
And then he said that Dusty Rhodes wears a bra.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Well, that being said,
Gone? Is Chad gone?
Maybe. I mean, he's still there, but there's no camera. Do you want to just go on?
Sure.
Okay. Then if he comes back in, we'll bring him in. And at this point, and it seems like we may or may not have lost Chad Austin here. We're going to try to get him back on. But like I said, guys, there isn't a lot to discuss, a lot more to discuss here anyway. But we do go into the August 23rd, 1994 show. That starts off with they show us the Sandman and Tommy Dreamer from Hardcore Heaven. What I liked about the promo after this was woman, her and Sandman are talking about Dreamer kissing her. She says something about, they've pretty much moved the Tommy Cairo thing with Peaches to Tommy Dreamer. You notice that?
Oh yeah.
But I love the fact I loved the fact that woman said, "I'm gonna keep bitching till this is fixed." I thought that was great. Like, I'm just gonna keep bitching.
It's the same as like, are you seeing what I'm dealing with now? Like, we got this all day over here. She will shut the fuck up because of what you're doing.
And she's like, I'm gonna keep bitching until this is fixed. I thought that was great. That was great. Yeah. That was Nancy doing a great job there. All right, so this is where I have it written down. The NWA tournament bracket. The first round, and it is Shane Douglas versus Taz. Dean Malenko. This tournament is also introducing ECW to Malenko and Benoit, by the way, folks. This is where we're going to we're going to see them make their first appearances in the promotion. Buckle your seatbelts. But it's Douglas Taz, Dean Malenko versus, and I always pronounce the guy's name wrong, Nishimura.
It's close enough. He's not listening. It's all right.
We got Too Cold Scorpio versus Chris Benoit.
And 911. Yes, that'll be good. And then 911 versus, I think they're calling it at this point a mystery entrant or whatever.
A wild card.
Wild card.
Yeah, this is what it actually says on the bracket.
For those of you who don't know, should I spoil it?
I was about to.
It's Doink.
Yes, it is Doink, but it is also beginning one of my favorite angles, like favorite little angles ever with Born Again.
Yes, it's the good Doink.
The good Doink.
It's good, bad Doink. It's like what Doink should have never not been, or not. Right. You know what I mean?
What he was, what he felt like from the beginning in the WWF, and then they screwed it up.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what's coming. Born Again, Matt Bourne doing that gimmick. That's exciting because and that's why I said I was pretty sure last time we did a show that Mr. Hughes was finishing up, because Matt Bourne is going to be with Shane Douglas after this.
Yeah.
There is a promo here after this with Dean Malenko talking about the tournament. Now, here's what I wrote. It was a good, serious promo, but it was too long.
Oh, I put Dean Malenko, I respect you, but shut the fuck up.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like, he just...
It wasn't good. It wasn't a good promo.
See, I didn't mind it when it started. Like, when he first started, that's what I'm saying. Like, it started out as,
It was bad all the way around.
But yeah, it went. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
There's one point where he says, "I'm the Rocky Balboa now." Like Dean Malenko isn't a promo guy, and they should have realized it.
Right. But yeah, anyway, you have the Dean Malenko promo talking about the NWA tournament. Then we get a video on Taz featuring him, essentially the torch being passed to him by Jimmy Snuka as the new Barefoot Savage in professional wrestling, I guess. And they recap the stuff with the Pitbulls. I don't have a lot there. A Too Cold Scorpio promo with video clips. Also a guy that is one of my favorite wrestlers. He's in my top 20 wrestlers of all time. I love Too Cold.
I do
bad
too.
promo.
Bad
promo.
He's
yes.
a bad promo.
He'll just be like, you know what? It's ECW. And whoop, there it is.
Yeah,
ECW.
ECW, dog. Here it is. Yeah.
Baby got back. ECW. He just says.
Y'all mentioned. I mentioned I got a big old dick.
Well, no, his promos consist of him saying ECW, that's where it's at, and then mentioning a popular rap song.
Yeah.
He's like, ECW, that's where it's at. Baby got back.
Yeah.
We had effect.
Slam.
The live effect.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm the hot stepper, yo.
I'll be Ani Kamosi my way down to the ECW arena. But anyway, yes. Love Too Cold. Not a great promo.
Yo, man, I had to come to the ECW because I was like, if you have no loot, go to ECW, get some money, y'all.
Tony. All right. They show us highlights or lowlights or whatever you want to call them of 911 and Mr. Hughes from Hardcore Heaven.
Like, yo, woman, all I want to do is I'm a zoom, and you boom, boom.
And then she said, I got a man. And I was like, what your man got to do with me?
All right.
Her name was Kay. And I said, all right, let's be positive, Kay.
Yes, let's be positive.
All right. Anyway, then we see the highlights, lowlights, whatever you want to call them, of 911 and Mr. Hughes from Hardcore Heaven. And Paulie Dangerously then cuts a promo talking about the participants of the tournament and the upcoming tag title match at the show, which is advertised to be Terry Funk and Cactus Jack against the Public Enemy. That's another twist. That's not who's going to be challenging them for the tag team titles, but we will get to that next week, of course. Shane Douglas's promos are great when he decides not to talk about Bret Hart and Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
He's so heavy-handed with that shit sometimes. It gets old. And I understand this is 94. That stuff's never been done before. He's kind of doing something, again, that hasn't been done. And obviously he wants to eat that up and create a persona. I get it. But when he just does a serious promo about, in this crazy-ass wrestling promotion, I'm the wrestler. You know, I'm the best wrestler in this promotion. I'm the lead dog as far as bell-to-bell competition goes. He's great.
Yeah, and to me, and I understand like wanting to get people talking about it and stuff, but that's the thing that I always kind of agreed with Vince. And they kind of went away with it in the Attitude Era because Vince Russo started writing shit and everything. I loved when I think Vince McMahon's opinion or ideology of we're the only wrestling company in the world. Well, no, you're not, Vince. There's all kinds of other companies. Shut up. We're the only wrestling company around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk about other companies because why would I want to promote them?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the greatest example of Vince McMahon being right in that situation is, that was butts in seats.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Butts in seats. So just, if you're the lead dog, just shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, just shut the fuck. Like, if you're the lead dog, shut the fuck up and just enjoy it. And if you're not the lead dog, don't piss off the lead dog because he's gonna fucking come back and get you.
Right.
Because he's the lead fucking dog for a reason.
Yep.
Like, That's just how I think of it.
Yes,
And like,
and I agree.
it's like, okay, Shane, cut a promo. Okay, well, you just cut a minute and a half promo, and you only talked about our show for like 20 seconds of it, but the rest of it was about Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Pointless.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree. Yes. The next thing is a really good promo from Cactus Jack. And one of the things that I'm the most excited about that we've gotten into now watching ECW is I get to watch Cactus Jack ECW promos because they're from the beginning of his run to the end of his run. Jack cuts probably next to my, Aaron knows how I am, probably next to some Dusty Rhodes promos. The Cactus Jack promos in ECW are my favorite promos of all time.
Well, it's because he was allowed to be he was allowed to be himself. Like he wasn't like, I know when Vince got him or whatever, and he did the shit with Jim Ross and all that, and Vince was like, "Wow, look at him," like, that was good stuff, but it was still WWF
right
stuff. Like it was still somebody approving or whatever he was saying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But in ECW, it was just, hey, Mick, I'm assuming, just go say your shit. I don't think Paulie, and we'll get there eventually, I don't think Paulie was like, hey, take your kids to the amusement park and get on the slowest carousel there is or whatever.
Right.
Go, this is extreme. Like he wasn't telling him to do that. That just Mick took his kids to Circus or Christmas or wherever the fuck he went and did it, and came back and said, "Look at this shit." You know what I mean?
Yes.
Kind of like it's why Raven was best Raven in ECW, because it was just Scott Levy being Scott Levy.
Right. Well, in this promo, Jack talks about his first pay-per-view against Norman, the lunatic.
Yes.
And how he was invited to Ric Flair's
birthday party.
His birthday party. And essentially, the punchline here is
he met Terry Funk.
Yes.
And they were like, Terry Funk, this is Cactus Jack. And Terry Funk was like, I know Cactus Jack. I don't see shit in him. Wink at him.
Yes. So, but yeah, then he talks about Public Enemy because, again, we're building toward Jack and Terry versus the Public Enemy at the NWA tournament show. And
hold on, sorry.
Oh, you're all right.
I'm going to try to figure out how I want to say this. Is there a better, like, non-related, like, father-son type relationship than Mick Foley and Terry Funk?
No.
I know. I'm sure there's shit outside of the ring, or I don't want to say outside of the ring, like shit before them. You know what I mean? But that you didn't see documented or whatever. But in the modern era of professional wrestling, I don't think there's a relationship like that.
No, there isn't. And that's why, like I said, I had written down at the beginning when we first started talking about these shows with them sitting in the chairs together. I love to watch Terry and Jack enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's
I think it's because they've never fallen out of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you always hear like oh, Larry Zbyszko and Bruno Sammartino, that was like a father-son type thing, but then the Heat money fucked it up or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bruno even fucking had a feud with his own, like a legit falling out with his own kid.
Own son, yes.
Like Mick still goes and seeks out Terry and takes pictures.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was overthinking something that I couldn't think of, but it's like I can't think of two guys that just had that I like on whatever. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, I absolutely enjoy it. They are fantastic together, as they will be intertwined. And essentially, that's it, right?
Yeah, they recap the chair storm, and then the Public Enemy cuts a shitty promo. And that's how it goes off the air.
Well, there you go. And
We apologize for everybody for losing Chad. He said he was having some storms in his area earlier, so maybe he lost his connection. But I mean, frankly, we heard him for the good part of the show, right?
Yeah, we got an hour out of it, so we appreciate people asking questions, because if not, it wouldn't have happened.
Yes, not this week. But on the promising side, next week, shit explodes.
Yep. There's 2 very iconic ECW moments in one show, so look forward to that.
Absolutely. Aaron, anything you want to say as parting words for our listeners this week before we sign off?
Nope. Like I said, just thanks for thanks for asking the questions. And if you want to watch the show ahead of time that we're going to be talking about, it's August 30th, 1994. It's on the Cock. I tried to find the tournament, and I can't the actual tournament. I can't find it anywhere.
I couldn't find it either. The only one I could find was the one Candido wins.
Yeah, and we already talked about that on We Can't Wrestle. So that's like I said, guys. If you want to watch the show before we listen to us review it, that's what you want to do. August 30th, 1994.
Absolutely. And I want to thank everybody for listening. And just to do this before we sign off, I want to encourage everybody, if you have not yet, to join our Facebook group, Reliving the Extreme, or listen to our other shows here on the WrestleNet Radio Podcast Network, like the We Can't Wrestle podcast, especially. And also send your questions in. It's cool to get the questions. We got 3 of them this week. I was very happy to see that. relivingtheextreme@gmail.com. And that being said, I want to thank Chad Austin, of course, and my brother Aaron for joining me again this week. And we will see everybody next week as we continue reliving the extreme. Have a good week, everybody.
Night. All right. I gotta take a shit.
That's why I switched to my phone, because man, I gotta pee so bad. All right.
I might go out for a while. I don't have to work till noon tomorrow. So, all right.
All right.
All right.
I'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night. All right,
Yeah.
later.
Bye.